The path to the CISSP involves a multi-stage validation process that shifts the focus from technical memorization to the strategic leadership and systems thinking required to oversee a global security architecture. We can model this entire certification journey as an industrial pipeline, a continuous state machine defined by strict inputs, a ruthless processing engine, and conditional outputs. The first stage of this pipeline is the inputs. The system actively filters candidates before they even sit for the exam through rigid experience requirements. The baseline input requirement is exactly 5 cumulative years of full-time, paid or unpaid, professional work experience. That experience cannot be hyper-specialized into a single narrow role. It must span 2 or more of the 8 official CISSP domains. There is a heuristic bypass built into the system. Candidates can reduce that experience requirement by exactly 1 year. This list shows the approved prerequisite pathway certifications. Earning one of these, or holding a relevant 4-year college degree, grants you that 1-year reduction. You cannot stack these exemptions. The rules explicitly state you can claim only one reduction measure, either the degree or the certification, but not both. If a professional lacks the required tenure, they can still enter the pipeline under the Associate of ISC2 pathway. Passing the exam under this status grants them 6 years to accrue the necessary 5 years of experience. These pre-exam filters ensure that the certification evaluates hardened, practicing professionals who have navigated real-world environments, rather than testing entry-level theory. Once the experience prerequisites are met, the next input is the syllabus itself, the CISSP Common Body of Knowledge. Approaching this material requires a specific managerial mindset. The syllabus is intentionally designed to be a mile wide and an inch deep, prioritizing risk strategy and broad application over granular procedural implementation. This comprehensive security framework is divided into 8 topical domains, covering everything from network communication to identity and access management. This table provides the extent, by percentage, to which each domain is represented on the actual examination. The test does not treat all domains equally. The most heavily weighted topic is Domain 1, Security and Risk Management, accounting for 16% of the exam. Risk management serves as the foundational anchor because every technical or architecture decision is ultimately driven by how an organization mitigates risk. In contrast, Domain 2 and Domain 8 carry the lowest weighting at 10% each. Candidates have to use these exact percentages to strategically allocate their study time, prioritizing their mental bandwidth based on the mathematical weight of each domain. The syllabus architecture demands an integrated, business-aligned view of security. The goal is to evaluate your ability to protect an entire organization, not your ability to configure a single piece of hardware. The narrative now moves to the center of the pipeline, the processing engine. This is the exam itself. ISC2 uses an evaluation format called Computerized Adaptive Testing, or CAT. Unlike a traditional linear exam where every test taker sees the same static list of questions, the CAT algorithm dynamically shifts the difficulty of subsequent items based on your ongoing performance. You are placed inside an absolute time envelope of exactly 3 hours. Inside that envelope, the exam length is variable. You face a minimum threshold of 100 questions and a maximum limit of 150.
Hidden within that count, exactly 25 of the questions are unscored pretest items, shuffled randomly among the operational items. ISC2 uses these pretest questions to gather performance metrics on future exam items. They do not impact your current score, but you must treat every unlabeled prompt as live. If your proficiency level keeps you in the system all the way to question 150, the grading parameters shift. At that absolute limit, your pass or fail status is determined solely by the final 75 operational items you answered. Surviving the CAT algorithm requires immense psychological endurance. You are navigating an environment where the duration fluctuates based entirely on your real-time competence. The rules of the testing environment are strictly forward-only. Skipping questions is entirely prohibited. Once you select an answer and submit it, it is locked permanently. The CAT system does not allow you to return to a previous question to review or to change your response. Most of the items you encounter are standard 4-option multiple-choice questions with a single correct answer. The strategic difficulty lies in the phrasing. The exam frequently presents scenarios where several answers seem plausible, forcing you to select the best practice or the least incorrect option.
In addition to standard formats, the exam utilizes what ISC2 calls advanced innovative questions. This includes drag-and-drop mechanics, requiring you to arrange concepts in priority order, map relationships, or accurately position labels. You will also see hotspot questions, where you must pinpoint a specific target location on a technical image or diagram using a crosshair marker. To clear the processing engine, you have to achieve an absolute mathematical success metric, scoring 700 out of a possible 1,000 points. The exam's strict, irreversible mechanics punish second-guessing. They explicitly reward decisive risk management and solid heuristic reasoning under pressure. Moving to the final stage of the pipeline, system outputs, we find that seeing the word pass on the screen does not immediately grant you the CISSP credential. If the system registers a fail, you face escalating cooling-off periods for retakes. You must wait 30 days after a first attempt, 60 days after a second, and 90 days before a third or subsequent attempt. Candidates are strictly capped at a maximum of 4 exam attempts within any 12-month period. For those on the success path, clearing the exam triggers the endorsement phase. During endorsement, your prerequisite work history must be vetted. A current ISCSP certified professional in good standing must formally evaluate your experience and vouch for your qualifications. There is a strict deadline here. This endorsement application must be completed within 9 months of passing the exam. Once ISC2 accepts the endorsement and awards the certification, the candidate enters a permanent maintenance loop. To stay certified in good standing, you are required to pay an annual maintenance fee and consistently earn continuing professional education credits. Exactly 120 of those continuing education credits must be accumulated and reported by your 3rd-year anniversary. By mandating annual fees and continuous educational reporting, the ISC2 framework ensures that a certified professional remains in a permanent state of verification, reflecting the evolving requirements of the field.